Good day everyone, my name is Sayde and I'm going to discuss about the statistical tools and tools for financial analysis. But before that, let's first have a brief recap about what the former lecturer discussed about. Ms. Baxa discussed about the sampling and sampling techniques by elaborating its definition and purposes. So as for my learning outcomes, after the discussion, the student should be able to identify the different statistical tools and tools for financial analysis. Next, to determine the purpose of each tool. And lastly, learn how to write this part of the financial plan. So now, moving on to the lecture, let's first begin with a simple introduction. So in doing research or financial plan, data is gathered and analyzed to come up with solutions that will best answer the stated problem or problems. And in order for the researchers or financial planners to do so, they will be needing tools to aid them in measuring or quantifying the gathered data. And there would be lots of statistical tools and tools for financial analysis that would arise, which should be differentiated from each other so that the best or the most appropriate tool would be used depending on the purpose or the data gathered. So now, as for the body, the definition stated by Dr. Kasurao under the statistical tools and tools for financial analysis, so descriptive statistics such as frequency, percentages, and average are employed in establishing the quantifiable data. The process largely involves the determination of ratios, turnovers, and rates, and it also requires use of different tools such as the forecasting models, leverage analysis, capital asset pricing model, growth potential, the Z double prime scores, DuPont identity, and internal rate of return, among others. So what is a descriptive statistics? So this actually pertains to the extent in which the central setting is surrounded by several observations being described by the central tendency, and the spread towards the extremes is described by the degree of dispersion. So there are actually three measures of central tendency, which are the mean, mode, and median. And we all know that mean is the most commonly used measure for central tendency. Next is the measures of dispersion, which consist of variance and standard deviation. So these measures are used to quantify the dispersion between a set of observations, or simply how spread out the set of numbers are from the average values. Next, we have the parametrics test, which consists of the student's t-test and the analysis of variance. So parametrics test is actually or normally used for the numerical or quantitative data. So the student t-test is used to test the null hypothesis if there is no difference between the means of two groups under different circumstances. So for the analysis of variance, it is used to identify if there is any significant difference between the means of two or more groups under observation. Next is the correlation, which we have here the person-product moment correlation, which measures the degree of relationship between linear related variables. So lastly, we have here the important tools for financial analysis, which is divided into four groups, which are the ratio analysis, comparative financial statement analysis, the common size statement analysis, and the trend analysis. So for the ratio analysis, we are all familiar with this, for this consists of the liquidity ratio, profitability ratio, and solvency ratio. So for the next, comparative financial statement analysis, which is also called the horizontal analysis. So from the name itself, it is the comparison of the horizontal financial information over the series of reporting period. Next, we have the common size statement analysis, or also called the vertical analysis. So this is a proportional analysis in which each of the line item in the financial statements are listed as percentages of another item. And lastly, we have the trend analysis, which is the method of time series data analysis involving the comparison of business data over time to identify if there is any consistent trend or results. So in writing this part of the financial plan, there should be a subheading of statistical tools and tools for financial analysis, under which is a short introduction for the subheading. Then, the enumeration of the different tools used for the plan with a brief description and the formula it represents. So for the example, I have used from the 5-year financial plan for Red Ribbon Bake Shop Incorporation, which was available from our library. So for my summary, in a nutshell, there are several statistical tools and tools for financial analysis that help researchers to measure the data they've gathered. Each and every tool exists for a specific purpose that users should be aware of. For this will enable them to properly address every problem with the best solutions that will answer the stated problem. Everyone should be reminded that a careless use of any of the tools could lead to a useless or misleading results. So that would be all for my report. Thank you for listening.